The stage has been set. It is split for map number 3 between Gen.G and Andbox. Folks, welcome back to VALORANT Challengers, and it is North America trying to find their next representative for the closed qualifiers. My name is UpMine, joined here by Sully, and we're going through Agent Select.
Yep, nothing out of the ordinary from either of these teams. In this final map was split, it all comes down to playing with the comfortable picks. And both of these teams and their last split matches have used this exact same composition. Expect nothing out of the ordinary. Both teams have Vipers. Both teams have a second controller. But the main difference is both teams don't have a Sky and both teams don't have a Sage.
Both teams... Well, I mean, Stubbs still, like, slipping in there with a Sage at the very end. And still, yeah, you know what? This is more or less what we expected for that split. I said earlier that Brimstone is a more viable pick for split, at least for Gen.G. And indeed, they dug very, very deep into their back pocket to make that Brimstone pick.
Yeah, Brimstone is quite an interesting pick. Definitely on this map as well. I understand the power that he brings, especially with the upgraded, obviously, stim beacons. His ultimate can be very, very impactful at times. So I think that'll be a very big focus, at least from Gen.G, is to utilize that orbital strike and those stim beacons to gain a huge advantage. But with only one team having a Sky, those pop flashes can be just as deadly. Mata going leaping into heaven, and it's a 1-for-1 trade back and forth for a 3v3.
Oh, JC Stanny gonna be able to take things back for an advantage for Andbox, and as the dust subsides here on the A sites, Andbox currently have full control, including Heaven. Vice still waiting up for that rotation back in over towards screens, but Andbox will gladly take control and take a plant.
Retake in. I don't know how many flashes they have exactly. Only one snakebite to utilize here as well. 8 seconds to the next flash, so they really need to wait. That should be their cue. That should be their opener. And Andbox playing the post plane. JC Stani had a very good position as well. The Viper wall can come up as soon as he makes contact, which was a little too much pressure. And well, he's already got the first. He can deal with this himself, and he's pulling him away as well. There's nothing that you can really do here if you are Gen.G. You're already pulled away from the site, and Stani's going to get the kill nonetheless.
Yeah, stellar start, especially for the attacking side of split. We've seen a lot of these teams pull out very lackluster records on the attacking side, including some of the teams that we saw yesterday on split. 45%, 40% were some of the attacking records that we were looking at. And fortunately, if you're on the attacking side and you're able to get that pistol round, it feels so sweet. Gen.G now on that back foot, Sully, and really not too many prospects for us to really talk about. Let's just get into the round, as Gen.G has most of their players over towards mid, and Box are looking towards A.
Ooh, very early paranoia to set up Mata to get straight into A heaven, and well, everyone on Gen.G has corralled. The rotations can be very quick, and Mata is working his way. He's got a Viper wall on his face, but they're just gonna swing right through. A nice leer as well to set him up, and they're going deep into defender spawn. They want to clear out this backside before they hit into the site. And now they know that Gen.G have been locked out of the site. It should be a free plant, and a 5v5, it can get very chaotic, especially with these pistols. And look at this, 3 players towards the sewer side, and JC Stein is the only one here to make contact.
He still has a Spectre. He could certainly just mow them down. In goes a couple of little jiggle swings, and even then, JC Stanny is able to get 2. Nature finally taking back that frag. Ye and Seb finally capitalizing, getting up 2 more over towards the heaven side, and that's an easy cleanup from Vice. Wide swing onto Nature, and there you go. Andbox is going to maintain most of their SMGs going into the next round.
This is their bonus. If they can, again, do the same thing Gen.G did to them in the first half and the second half. I think it was the first half of Breeze and the first half of Icebox.
Yeah.
Get the bonus on their side. Go into the next round with a 4th or possibly with a 4-round lead. You reset Gen.G here. It'll be a massive cleanup here. And Andbox with a very solid start so on their attacking side. It's another A hit. A nice leer to allow at least, I think, Mata to get a lot of space with his blast back. And they don't even need to use a paranoia. Effectively, only 200 credits, and they've gotten all this space already.
And yeah, no, it just comes down to Mata making up all that space, but now he's currently stuck up in a corner with only 4 HP, and with that 4 HP, he's just looking to expend all of his util from that corner. Why not? You're pretty much about to die. Throw out that boom bot, and let's see what else that Vice can pull off. Trying to help out Mata. Still that orb up in heaven. Mikhail trying to catch up a little bit of space. Well, and the meanwhile, it's just a distraction play. JC standing coming up from behind, taking down Kusta, and Mikhail remains the only representative for Gen.G here in heaven, and he's getting sandwiched bit by bit. The flank that he had on him, it is gone though, and it is all the way back towards that A site, but in reality, that is just Andbox playing with their food. They have full control of A.
Yeah, and Gen.G aren't even fully rotated simply because the guiding light goes out towards mid. It gets contact off of that burst. Is the opportunity that they could be splitting back into this B site. But at this point, they are committed to the A hit. And I think if Gen.G can't find a pick early on, can't even out the numbers, it should be a safe call.
It absolutely should be a safe call. These two players are still right outside, though. Ready and raring to go. Ooh, a couple of bursts in. There goes that Stim Beacon. Stim Beacon certainly helps. They still have full HP, too. I could see this being possible. And there you go. That's certainly a start. Sean taking down Vice. In goes Mikhail with a shot right through. Taking out Mata. JC standing up close and personal. Gonna be able to take down Nature over an elbow. Still a 2-on-2, and JC standing is still fighting. He's gonna be able to get a little bit of damage. Diffuse attempt by Mikhail, but it's just a little bit of a fake. Sean takes down Ye. JC Stanny is stuck in the middle of sight as the spike is about to go off. And he's dead. No rifles. Oh, no.
Not the most effective of bonus rounds. They have to fully invest here anyway. So Gen.G,
right.
They'll kind of, I imagine, light buy into this to try and again do a little bit more damage to Andbox. Saving that one rifle for Sean could be massive. And yeah, a couple of upgraded pistols here and there. Andbox, they're the ones in a pretty competent position. It's not the best bonus, but they can kind of convert this one to a bonus as well. If you keep players alive, it'll force Gen.G to have to kind of sit around, or apologies, work around your economy instead. The next round, you'll have the strong buy. Gen.G have a chance to get reset. So Andbox, the 4-0 lead, possibly. Mikhail completely avoids that paranoia, anticipates that kind of play, and is there to punish Mata for the 3rd time he's done that.
Yeah, with a stinger of all things, and now GMD from around the corner, waiting up for JC Standing. JC Standing thought that he was slick, but he runs right into the waiting off-angle crosshair. And still Gen.G, they're looking for a couple more frags as Andbox start to stomp their way through to the A side. Great molly separating at least one of the players, but it might be all for naught. Again, that control is lost. They're looking to retake ramp, though. Ye is ready for that pick, potentially. There goes a little bit of a jiggle. He goes back in. The Stim Beacon is right in his face. He goes for the dismiss. Around the corner comes Vice for the attempt. And Vice ends up getting 2. Still stuck around the corner. Nature going to be able to pick up a Phantom right from around. He can't get him. The snake bite helps out Vice. He's able to get a couple of bullets into the body of Nature. But at the end, it's the same result. It's a 4th round for Andbox.
Oh my goodness. Andbox, that's the start they were looking for. Not the best economic situation they were hoping to be on, but at least they have the 4-0 start, and especially on this attacking side. Now you've got the momentum. You have the 4-0 lead. You have an opportunity to reset Gen.G here. This is essentially just a full rifle round where whichever team wins is going to essentially kind of reset the other team. Andbox take a loss here. A couple players can't buy. It'll be a very mixed bag. But Gen.G, a little bit of a different look approach from Andbox. Mata does the same quick blast back, and they are anticipating the 3-player stack, but in reality, the lean is to the B side and even back towards mid.
They're still trying to decide where they even want to go. Andbox still sticking around with most of their default. Lots of contact over towards ramp is just going to leave Andbox just a little bit more scattered and less, I guess, determined for a singular spot. In comes Ye, though, all the way over towards man. That's a free kill against Mikhail. Now up from behind the dismiss. There you go. Ye, what a reaction. He gets a couple of hits off to his back, but he's still living. Sean going to be able to get a little bit more damage. Out goes the Seekers. Just around the corner, it's going to be GMD taking down Ye. Still a 2-on-4.
GMD is able to get out very, very quickly. Those Seekers giving all that information, but where are these two players? JC Stani needs a clearance. He knows there's one towards a close left. A beautiful nade to force the split, and GMD is going to find another kill. Explosions obscure the vision of Seb, and now he's down to 3 to find.
Yeah, and he has no armor. Nature able to just grind through Seb off that wide swing. That's Gen.G's first round. It's well won.
Great hold as well towards the heaven side. If you give Ye that space, I don't think Andbox lose that round, right? If Ye doesn't go down in that positioning, it becomes so much more difficult. Mata gives up a very early pick. Andbox, you could see the idea they were trying to fake an A hit again. But in reality, they wanted to try and split into heaven. Gen.G were able to shut down those kind of little maneuvers to work into the site. And ultimately, Gen.G find themselves in a confident position. You reset Andbox's economy, like I mentioned earlier. Only a handful of players are going to be able to buy a very mixed bag of guns. 2 rifles, the rest have got sheriffs, and Gen.G with a chance to double up their scoreline.
I'm loving this position from Kusta, by the way. It's just the one-off stuff that you love to see, that I personally love to see. Mata gets a big frag over onto Mikhail, but it's still going to be an attempt. Kusta ends up getting 1 kill, but again, with that Vandal, not exactly effective. He was aiming for a Heaven interaction, but now in comes Nature playing Ring Around the Rosie with the A. Mata coming in from behind, has the satchel in, has the showstopper, going to be able to get 1, lands in front of Nature, and Nature ends up taking him down from the top rope. Still a 2v2. Nature has an angle onto JC Stanny. JC Stanny goes in for the peek. He needs help from Gen.G. Nature still gets the kill. Nature gets another one. How is Nature still alive? His teammate providing the coverage and potentially a little bit of a bait to allow Nature to peak. It is a massive, massive round for Gen.G.
Oh, and it's a second as well. You look at their economy, and now it's a little bit more stable. Andbox, they kept things close here at the very least, but Mata not wary, not able to adjust in time to take down Nature. The gun pulled a little bit too slow for him. But Andbox, they charged into the site. They headed into the bull. That was Nature. He finds 4 and cleans things up. And he's still able to save onto that Viper's Pit. He might be looking to use it here towards mid. Yes, indeed.
Yeah, there it is.
Logging the main avenue for a split. Now they've got to rework back into the A main and B main extremities if they want this take to work. But no, Mata's just going head first.
Yeah, Mata going head first without any satchels either. He has made it through the elevator completely dry, Sully.
My goodness.
He has everything except for a boombot. In comes Oh! No! GMD, best case scenario. He got it. Just a shot to the head was able to do it. Yay, incredibly low on HP. Mikhail taking advantage of the Viper's Pit, putting in an orbital strike. And just like that, Andbox trying to make their way through. The murky waters of mid have gone down to 3 players.
1 revive available. Viper's Pit still in their favor. So there's an opportunity to maybe bring back Mata to life, but Nature. Oh, Stani flicks back to the left side and is able to trade him out. Now the trade is back, and now the revive is in. Ye's been brought back to the playing field over Mata. And Andbox have tied things up 4v4. The info, that is a great guiding light, but it all could be a fake. Good thing a rotation is going back nonetheless for Gen.G. But Andbox, they are not committed. They're still standing around this mid side, and JC Stani's got a whole lot of space in mailroom.
They have information that an elevator take was attempted. JC Stanny, alongside the rest of his Andbox teammates, trying to make their way through, but Kusta takes him down in a 1 fell swoop. Sean just around the corner, could be able to burst things open. Kusta's actually going right on through the pit. Just about 15 seconds left. Can they deny the play? Yes, they do! Sean comes in with a 2K, and that is it for the round. Ye has to pull off a 1v4 to make it possible, but the best thing that this man can do, get a couple of exits, get the hell out of Dodge. It is a big round for Gen.G again.
Oh my goodness, a barrel stuff right in front of the smoke. Sean, perfect timing to find those 2 kills. And Andbox, that was their buy round. 1 rifle saved. Ye's only going to get 1,000 extra credits. It is a rough situation to be put into because he has to force his team to buy around him if he buys armor here. He could stick with what he's got, try and get a kill and overheal, but no, he's gone to 800 credits. So the situation for Andbox is so dire. His team is buying around him a little bit more heavily than I think they would have liked. And now Andbox, it is such an awkward economic situation. Akusta has got a great chance to punish 1 player early, but the nade and the slow orb is what's going to do him in and force him off.
Kusta can still reinforce towards that back of sight, but that Viper wall is so well set up. Kusta has actually updrafted all the way back to Raptors, and now he's just waiting for players to walk right into his crosshair. Nature certainly helping out with a big kill onto Seb. So that orb right in the middle, Andbox doing a really good job of just waiting right on through, still staying disciplined, and potentially seeing if any of these players from Gen.G do want to get a little bit stretched out. JC Stanny would have to be the linchpin here for a bit of a fake.
I was concerned that Andbox's rotation would be a lot more labored, and yeah, it is indeed. The fear is that there are so many extra angles you have to clear. Guiding light goes out, doesn't get any info, and with JC Stani going down, there's no longer a forward position. You know where the play's coming. You see the smoke and mailroom, then you know they're back towards the mid side. You at least hear it. And Sean, guiding light doesn't get any information, but you have to infer, and with this kill from Kusa, you have to guess that the rest of the players are in this mid position. What do you do here if you're Vice and alongside Ye? I mean, 29 HP and a dream, essentially.
Yeah, Vice just wanted to go for the wide swing, potentially get some info for Ye. But yeah, it's too far of a task. That's Gen.G for the 4th round. Andbox has been slowly slipping away from that lead that they had. No, it is completely gone. It's 4-4, of course. But yeah, no, I still do see at least a gap for Gen.G in some of these areas that Andbox are attacking. I actually do like the early control that Gen.G is starting to take over towards mid, but I think that ideology is going to stop this round.
Seeker's out early, possibly, for Sean. Sends a guiding light down mid. But he might get that early information. Wants to know exactly how many players are here. So those Seekers can be very valuable. Kusa's going to cheat through a little bit. Nice jump spot from JC Stani, or apologies, Vice. It won't be a kill that he was hoping for. So more space taken up here by the side of Andbox. And a little bit of a contest back towards mid. Mata has worked his way all the way up with a blast back and a boomba into elevator.
Oh my god.
This A split, it's looking very, very good. You killed the 1 player to elevator, but do you expect this 2nd player? No, you don't. Yes, you do, even if Mata jumps down and finds the kill. 5 versus 3, and Andbox have got the advantage leading into A.
I mean, they anticipated it. There was a lot of utility being used by GMG over an elevator, so that double wide swing that was essentially going to become a sandwich over in that elevator position. But watch out, Kusta is the only representative here in the back of sight, and he's certainly making it work. He gets a big kill, and Sean comes in from behind to try to clean things up. It is now even strength, Sully, 3v3.
And there are no smokes left for Andbox to even try and work into another site. You really need to figure out, okay, do we go back to B? If so, we need to get these kills. So many footsteps being made. Leo goes out. It's telegraphed, but it's all a fake. Look at the spike. It's sitting in the back. Seb is hoping that with this noise, with this kind of play, they can pull rotations, but it's done nothing. Nothing at all. Everyone on Gen.G sits still and waits.
All they could do is just hold these angles. Kusta watching over to ramp. Now come the attackers from heaven. He misses out on this first shot. Up close and personal against Mata. Mata ends up getting the kill. Spike carrier goes down. They still have to get that played in, and they have completely denied it. The round is over. Mata can't go anywhere with this. There's a snake bite right in the middle. Oh my word. Gen.G have just slipped away yet another round from Andbox.
Oh, what a great read coming out from Gen.G to anticipate the fake. You had no location of where the spike could be. Of the 2 players you killed, none of them had the spike. A great read coming out from Gen.G, not to overcommit to that rotation, not to commit to the fake that Andbox did. That's a fake that we saw on Icebox. So Gen.G, they've been conditioned to those kind of plays. They understand that, okay, Andbox, they might not make a full commit. And if they were, Sean would have been very, very ready with his sky flashes, his ability to slow things down with a play like that from Andbox. And next thing you know, once again, it's Andbox who are going to be reset. They save the operator. But what's that to a round 1 by Gen.G? It's nothing but Yay kicks us off with a nice bang.
There you go, Mata capitalizing right after 2 with a big kill onto GMD, clearing up the mid side. Gen.G has now been separated a little bit, with only 1 person marking over towards that A area, and Andbox have completely played their cards right, Sully. They're staying disciplined, they're staying out and away, and they're about to converge on the A side, it seems.
Both the rifles in their hands off of Gen.G's bodies. Towards A they go. 2 players posted up here, but it's going to take a lot more than just these 2 players. You're going to need so much individual skill here. Is already the first contact. Is ready to be made by Mikhail. Mata to leap through the poison orb out, and Mikhail's got nothing to do. What a lovely, lovely flash, but it's only going to net 1 kill nonetheless, and Mikhail tries to pounce. Not going to get much. Denied instantly, and Nature's considering the save, in which he has to.
Yeah, Nature going for the save. Kind of anticipated, but what a take from Andbox. I mean, it was
30 seconds left.
To an extent, almost just trying to prod away at Gen.G, see what initial positions they were having. But of course, that mid take is just going to be super, super important. They get up that control. They essentially get to go wherever they want in the middle of the map. It left Gen.G starting to guess, so that early rotation over towards A, it just leaves them completely out in the open. And even then, they still took the A site. So, Andbox just looking good in the round. They're finally going to be able to tie up the scoreline once again against Gen.G. Nature still saving up. And Sully, still Gen.G. They have cash, but not a lot of it. I would anticipate more for, like... Yeah, no, I was about to say, I would anticipate more cash to be taken in, like, 5 rounds in a row, right? But I think Gen.G have been reinvesting way too much in the last few rounds to really make that win streak worth it.
Light tag. So the buyback for Gen.G, it could be one of their last if they were to drop this round. The loss bonus not enough, I don't think, to allow them to another buy. Kusa will be picked up or dropped over that operator. The rest with Phantoms and Andbox will at least strike back for one after their 4-round streak to kick things off. After those 4 rounds, it's been the rifle rounds where Gen.G have just been able to dominate, and this is the first time that Andbox have really been able to crack through. So is that a theme that continues? It was an eco round for Andbox. They made it work. They made it happen. Is it a one-off round? Kusta, not smoked off, is anticipating the swing. The Lear, that actually might be out of his range if he wants to go for a light peek, and he does it. He gets a kill. He dashes away, avoids the boombot, and there's a free pick to the side of Gen.G. Mid is a little bit more of a worry part for Andbox, I'd imagine, moving forward. Ouch.
Yeah, ouch. Taking out a bit of damage, still going up for that approach. Vice. Oh, there it is. He just ends up getting 2 cheeky ones over towards ramp. And that, again, it's yet another controller going for a lurk. It's as stereotypical as you can get. So he gets those picks. Everyone gets the hell out of B. And now this B side is essentially wide open, except for one in heaven.
Oh, Nature dropping down instantly, but he's got to take this fight. He knows he's got to bring the swing to them. They might not expect it. Such an aggressive play. Such an aggressive play. It's only going to find one, but he's done enough. Delayed the spike plane, and now his players are close. One's already towards mailroom, but it's the combo that they need. The flashes to work into the site. Positions unknown, and time is not on their side.
GMD with barely any utility at this point, just trying to be either the info getter or just a little bit of a bait for his teammate to pop out. Does look like he's going for a little bit of a lineup. We don't exactly know what the plan is for Gen.G just yet, but still prodding through. Dry certainly helps. Vice gonna be able to get one into GMD. He has to run away. He has to run away. No, he's right on top of him. Sean, he can't find anything in the Viper's Pit. The Viper's Pit comes out in a perfect time in the middle of a 1v1, and Vice has literally jumped away from that entire situation. There goes the tick on the spike. The spike not being defused. Whoa! Sean, whoa! Where did Sean even see Vice? The round is over. He doesn't win the round. What was that kill from Sean? Totally blind. I think he just hurt him.
Saved by the bell, Andbox. If they lost that round because of that situation, I would have been mind-boggled. Vice, great understanding. He definitely, one of his teammates definitely said you have Viper's Pit online, and goes back, outplays by going up the rope. And man, if he is a couple of milliseconds closer, 80 milliseconds closer or sooner to get that kill, he wins that round. Jeez Louise, Andbox saved again by a minuscule play. And Gen.G, it's the last round of the half. They've got a decent buy going for them, and Andbox have got the strong one. They've picked back up the momentum. They're looking to close it out with a lead possibly now.
Yeah, double Lear's already being used by EA, but this is purely for that mid control. That's going to be Andboxed with that trademark control.
Sean with that Trailblazer deep out. GMD sends in that boom bust, so he's got info that they haven't dropped yet. He's expecting the drop to the box. But does Mata take it? He did it last round, or the last time he was able to punish GMD. Does he do it here again? Yes, he does. And oh, it's 2 players to drop in a 1-for-1. That is swift from Andbox and Gen.G. They have full, or apologies, the Andbox now take control back of Elevator because of this Viper's Wall. So now Gen.G, yes, they've gone 1-for-1, but they've lost a lot of map control.
There's about 50 seconds left on the clock. Again, Andbox just trying to stretch out as much of that mid-control as possible. And Vice came in from ramp side, Sully, and he still goes down in a heap. Oh my word, what an up-drop dash from Kusta! Kusta is still able to get the kill onto Mata. Great reaction from Kusta, but the rest of Andbox is still able to clean up the pieces. The spike will be able to go down. Revive is there. Could be able to go down. And there it is. Revive is live. And not only that, but he heals himself up. Could be a 3-on-2. He just needs to get that revive off. And there you go. Finally gets in. Sean up close and personal. Going to be able to take down JC Stan. He's still Nature getting another one. Mata stuck up against the wall. 22 HP. Throws in the nade. Forces Nature to go out. And Nature stays alive post-mortem. 6-6 is our scoreline going into the second half. And it's poetic, Sully. These two have been so close to one another for the last 2 maps.
Yeah, nothing like our 10-2 scoreline in the first half of Breeze in the first half of Icebox. This is as close as it gets, neck in neck. What we expected from this best of 3 series. And this next half, these next 12 rounds could either make or break the run of both of these teams. Oh man, what a half from both of them. This play in particular, Cruz is able to evade. And think about it this way, if he doesn't get that kill, Mikael doesn't get in the position towards elbow to try and support and delay even further. It comes down to this close 1v1, but man, Andbox, they brought the heat in that first half. They kept things close on their attacking side. Now they're on the defense. Things possibly get a little bit easier for them.
Potentially so. In we go, Sully. Pissed around coming up. Double ghosts. Still up that frenzy. It's a little bit interesting that Gen.G still wants to boot on. Not much of a vibe, but there's a gonna come in one uniform fashion. It's a B take.
Wall up towards mid. It's not the best situation for a B take though, Gus. Smokes are starting to fade. 3-player stack. Players anticipating the cancel. The rework back towards mid. The Viper Wall there to support. So Ye has a Leer. And one Devour or Dismiss. A lovely flash will force him off the angle, but that doesn't mean they're going to push forward. That Viper Wall takes off third, and you don't want to drop your armor. Gen.G slowly peel back away. I think they're trying to sell a fake of cutting noise, but smoke's going down. That's going to buy more and more time for Andbox to set themselves up, and I think they're anticipating this kind of play at this point.
Yeah, they still are. Gen.G, they've been ready for a B set take, and now they're just beyond the smoke. Now they're ready to go. In goes the double blast back at GM.G from midair. He actually took down Mana. Vice somehow still alive, and he goes down in a heap after Mikael goes in for the wide swing, and that's the site taken back. Potentially, Ye could try to fight for it, but no. Andbox have been left out and away from sight, and Gen.G most likely locking up a 7th. Seb's still trying to go for it still. All 4 players from Gen.G sitting up on site. There goes the guiding light. Got to be able to get even more information. Just letting them know that Seb is still there. Seb is still chilling. The armor is gone. 19 HP still around. He's actually going in for the heal up, but he finally goes down. So there you go. So Gen.G, they were looking for a set B take really the entire time. They reset their momentum, and they end up making it work.
Even with the smokes down in this round, even after they cut noise, that blast pack play, I mean, both of these raises have done like crazy plays. Modded it like 4 times in the first half going towards A ramp. Andbox, they weren't ready for a play like that, especially plays like that, just jumping through smokes after cutting noise. And you assume that maybe your opposing team, in this instance, Andbox, might have understood that you were cutting noise. To just do plays like that and catch them completely off guard, they work out. And they worked out very well in that instance. 5 players now stacked up from Andbox to the A side. It's just pistols, so they're just trying to play the number game and try and get some picks. But with the spike leading over here, you kind of hope that the investigative powers of the players on the other side of the map maybe lead that spike back to the B side. But it's looking like they're going to A. I'm not too sure what the call is here. With the smoke drop in the mailroom, they're definitely selling that presence on B side instead of A.
And again, look at Andbox still stacked up, ready and raring to go. It's just the wrong read. Gen.G, they still have someone over towards mid with just about a minute left. So, again, he could still go for really any sort of info play over towards B. But let's see how this ends up working out. This might be able to get at least a little bit of information. It ends up going down. And goes Kusta on that front line. It's Sev that wants that first pick off the classic, but Kusta ends up dashing in. There's one in the back of sight. Ye's going to be able to take him down, and Ye is still alive and could be able to pick up a rifle. No, it's an SMG. Picks up the Spectre as the rest of Gen.G. They are actually doubling back all the way to B. And GMD, the man on the lurk, has made it all the way behind Ye. That is 8-6.
Can they win their bonus round with the follow-up after for Gen.G? It's been the theme of this entire half, or this entire best-of-3 series, that every team has been able to win their bonus. So we'll see if that happens here. Vice is going to go for the judge. Very, very major sacrifices from Andbox in terms of their light armor, or light shields. 3 players lacking it. So these Spectres, they can shred you apart if you only have light shields. So that's a big concern for Andbox, and to close the gap is a bigger thing. Gen.G defaulting out again. Sky Flash just like the last round to show some presence towards the A side, but it's the mid play that's causing a lot of confusion, and given the idea that Andbox, or 2 Andbox, the play isn't necessarily towards the A side. And yep, see the pullback, rotation in. Ye's going to play elevator to support his teammates, and currently Gen.G are working their way up into a B split, it looks like. There's just such a heavy presence here on this part of the map.
And it's efficient that Andbox still has a 3-man crossfire over towards that mid site to potentially break up that split that you mentioned. And still watch out. Vice with a judge on the front lines of B main. Taking on at least a little bit of pressure. Those guiding lights potentially getting up a little bit of information, but they just have no clue where this B representative is. And indeed, Gen.G, with barely any information, have backed out all the way towards B main, all the way towards mid to potentially just trying to catch up with their teammates. 40 seconds left, Sully and Gen.G are backing up into the B site.
Yeah, Wall is going to fall here. I was going to say that Vice could throw up his orb, but he's got no toxins. It'll start to slowly trucks. This is beautiful timing.
Oh, look at the timing. There it is.
Vice. Wall goes up, and here comes the orb. He's going to take the first contact. He's not going to spin around. He needs to isolate some kind of fight, but Kusa breaks his line of sight. There's an opening, and here's a chance. 20 seconds left, but Andbox, they've stopped them in their tracks.
Viper Wall is still up, same thing with the orb. Mata is just around it, but no, Sean gonna be able to take down Mata because the Cloudburst just had that much of a space. 8 seconds left. No, the plant won't be able to go down, and Instant Nature gets the kill into Seb. Gen.G, they swarmed the site, and Andbox almost made it possible.
A last-second execution. Great dash. That was lovely from Kusta to break up that B representative. You said they were wondering where could he be. Well, a dash like that is going to break up their line of sight, give the teammates that are running out of B main a little bit more time to clear out those angles, and that's what he does. Gen.G win the round because of one dash, breaking that one player's line of sights, and then moving into sight with some crazy good kills. Well played to Gen.G. That's the bonus round one, and Andbox economy is abysmal. They're going to have to do with what they've got.
Absolutely in the dirt. And now Gen.G, all they can really do is just take all this advantage in the world. Is this going to be yet another 4-round streak? We saw that early on in this game from both of the two teams. If before, I thought we were feeling deja vu a little bit, but this is just another level. In we go. Kusta wants to jump right in, and he ends up taking down JC Stanley with a Spectre, and Mikhail with another one onto Seb. Andbox not only have 2 players remaining, and Kusta, who updrafted into Raptors, still remains in that same exact spot. He wide swings. Is he gonna get a third from this position? Indeed he will. Kusta with a 3K, taking down Mata, and Gen.G have scrapped through a 10th round.
Yeah, Kusa is just looking so powerful on this Gen. He makes it look so easy. Dash through, updraft up to clear out the player on Raptors, and man, Andbox, you definitely need a timeout here. This one man has broken your defensive line 2 rounds in a row. That cannot be happening over and over. You see it here again, the instant replay. Kusa finds the first pick, knows that the flash comes in, knows that this player's a little bit confused. Flashes come out, and next thing you know, Gen.G are on the site, and they've got your number. They've got the round.
That sucks. Indeed, Kusta. Indeed. Indeed, it does suck for the other team. I mean, I really wouldn't really know what to think if our Andbox at this moment. I think going back to basics here, Sully, it seems. Early on in the round, at this little pause phase, we can actually kind of see where the formation is going to be. We've seen Andbox starting to tighten up over in A main just a little bit more. I think one round that we saw just, I think 2 or 3 rounds ago, we saw a 3-man split towards that area. Mid has not been touched all too much by Andbox early on in the round. It's mainly just been Gen.G putting on a little bit of pressure. Andbox with a couple of responses in terms of utility, but not so much of a war there. Gen.G might be going for a default this round too.
And I think it's a very smart call, simply because 2 rounds in a row, you've done one fast A hit, and then another very slow, like very slow B hit where you kind of try and sell a fake and end up just bursting into the B site. So default out might catch Gen.G unaware when you expect in a round like this, a bonus round like this, to kind of just run and gun into a site. So a little bit slower of a take here from Gen.G. They have the orbital strike to help clear out sites if need be, or at least play that post plant. The post plant potential for this composition for Gen.G is just out of this world. Molly's galore and nades as well to assist. Taking things slow, just trying to fill out the map. You get a pick, follow up with an orbital strike to clear out a major choke point like Heaven, like Mailroom on the B&A site. The smoke down in the front of Mailroom will force Mata out of position. Now, does he want to swing off of a Lear here from Ye? That could be a possibility if things get a little bit heated. A very well timed Viper wall will at least obstruct the view of Gen.G for the time being. 50 seconds left on the clock. Moves need to be made and picks need to be found here.
There's really nowhere where they can get him. It's really just going to have to come down to Seb and potentially a rotator from Elevator to try to help out. just like the fact that Gen.G have completely abandoned any sort of split mentality. This is going to be yet another fast take, Sully. In we go. It's going to be Ye towards that backline. Orbital strike towards heaven. Ye still going up for that wide swing kill out from GMD. Seb still sitting up in the back site, and they have no clue he's here just yet, but wow. The adjustment for them to even go back. Seb still gets a kill off of that. Somehow, actually, I didn't even see him get the kill. Still, JC Stanley gonna be able to get one onto Mikhail as he jumps out. Sean back over towards Ramp, gets it. GMD still with 7 HP. He gets one. Showstopper in. There you go for me on the red. No, Mata didn't even go for the kill. GMD wins it all for Gen.G again. It's an 11th round off the clutch.
I literally cannot believe the nade saves his life. One person tries to swing from elbow, he understands the situation, tosses a nade before he sinks the plant, and he wins the round off of a showstopper as well. 2 pieces of utility save the round for Gen.G.
No
and
way.
that is insane. Andbox down by 5 rounds. Their economy is to bits. And Gen.G have a perfect chance to find 12 and then hereafter possibly win this game.
Again, I just can't believe what I'm watching. It's Ray's util, I guess.
Astonishing.
Oh man, it is what it is, folks. Early on in the round, we have an ulti being used up by Andbox, and it's none other than the Viper's Pit to cover up the A site. But Gen.G, they have their eye set potentially on B. As 3 players are split, 2 over towards that heaven line that did get a little bit of contact over towards bottom mid. So that kind of land is going to be able to help out with just about a minute left. Gen.G are still trying to prod away.
I think at this point, if you are Gen.G, you might want to leave a mid lurker, anticipating the fact that because the Viper Spit's been used, you expect a little heavier lean towards mid or towards the B side. So Trailblazer gets that info, and yeah, you definitely want to leave a mid lurker to catch rotations off guard. Lineup goes in to block off completely the heaven side. You've isolated this one man. JC Stani got it all to do, and too much on his plate. Gusa to get the trade. No mid lurk needed. You're just going to clear it out yourself. Spike will go down in the 5v3. And Andbox, there's nothing they can do as the second or the third player is to fall, and it's just 2 left remaining here, Gus.
Gen.G have iced out this situation entirely. Like I said, prodding away at the mid side, prodding away at the B side, and Andbox does actually do a good job of just at least adjusting their way towards Gen.G, adjusting their way into a couple of off angles, but again, Gen.G very, very fast on these takes throughout the last 4 rounds, it seems, in a row, and, well, 12-6 is all I can really say, Sully. 6 rounds in a row from Gen.G in a game that we thought was as tight as we could get. Both teams started off with 4-round streaks. High score line at halftime. But in we go. After a little bit of util at the very end, it's going to be the 12th round confirmed. Andbox, their economy, Sully, is not exactly set for this next round.
Oh, no doubt about that one, Gus. Andbox. How are they even going to play this one out? The timeout's already been used. JC Stani is the only one that has to really, really take a heavy hit because he's got to buy a paranoid. He's got to buy utility as well with that smoke. So many costs are going to be taken here. And Andbox, you cannot afford anything in this situation. Your run could end here against Gen.G. Both teams have made changes, but one looks better than the other on 2 maps. And Andbox, the full setup on the B site, 3 players here and 4 players approaching. It is a must-win round.
In we go. It's a cheeky setup. No, Vice! Vice! Where was Vice looking? He looks back towards the direction. There goes the dismiss, but the dismiss is right in the middle of a nade. GMD with a setup. In goes JC standing in the back of sight, still down to the 3v3. The Spectre is working for JC Stanley. He gets a whole lot more damage on another. Still that heal up for JC Stanley. In goes Mona! How did he miss out on the showstopper? How did it miss? Okay, Mikhail still gets the kill. There goes the TP away. And the TP away is going to be the only way that JC Stanley can go. It's a 1v3. All of these players low on HP. It's possible, but it would have to be the biggest clutch yet.
I cannot believe the showstopper doesn't get a kill. It had to have been stuck on like a pixel peak, and JC Stani, because of that, he's got 3 players to find. Yes, all 3 are low HP, but he's only one man. JC Stani, the new addition to this roster, has to come up absolutely massive.
All he can do is check these angles. He has a couple of smokes to try to help him out, but he drops, makes a little bit of noise. He's down on Mikhail, still around the corner, still hasn't spotted him. Finally catches off the arm. Sean still in the back line. There you go. He has no clue that somebody is in B main, but he doesn't even go for it. He waltzes on by. Half the defuse has gone in, but Mikhail runs on in, stuffs the barrel, and Gen.G have qualified for the close qualifier for the first time in 2 VCT stages. Folks, we're gonna run down this set after a very quick break.
Show me what you got. Back up, 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 back up.
And welcome on in. We have just finished up our first best of 3 here on broadcast, and it was Gen.G almost miraculously pulling off 7 rounds in a row to close out the last map versus Andbox, meaning that Andbox is eliminated and Gen.G has made it into next weekend's close qualifier. My name is Upmine, joined here by Sully, and let's talk about that last set.
Yeah, that last set was absolutely absurd. Gen.G brought the heat on map 1, map 2, and then they cooled down a little bit on map 2, but map 3, they did not stop, man. They kept on going. Andbox had a very, very confident first half. We ended 6-6 keep in mind, the scoreline was so close, and then Gen.G just ran off with it somewhere down the line. 7 rounds in a row to close out this series, and Gen.G, they look good doing it.
Yeah, savor these highlights, folks, because these are the only highlights that you will get, which Andbox are in the lead for. Gen.G took the lead after the half for the rest of the game, and just like that, it was plays like that from Kusta, the absolute legend in terms of the takes, opening up Andbox early on in the half, and it was this, dude. Like, is there anything else that I could tell you? One of the best plays that we've had all tournament, and it's because all of you, till GMD putting down the nade, getting up that showstopper, and this is the play that we were wondering about. No wonder that showstopper missed too far away, hitting onto the barrels. But yes, at the end, it was Gen.G moving forward 13-6. Sully, I don't really know what else to say about this set other than it was a complete breakdown of defense for both of these teams multiple times.
Yeah, definitely. Gen.G struggled very much on their icebox defense, and then on the split defense, struggled a whole lot. Andbox did. So Gen.G, they're going to be joining V1 in the qualified gang alongside Sentinels, Xset, Envy, and 100 Thieves. Now, Gus, our last game of the day is a little bit of an interesting one. If you guys are wondering what the other game is, Cloud9 Blue vs. Rise, that's happening on the mainstream currently. So if you want to check that out, go ahead. We don't blame you. We've got another game coming up in a little bit. But man, that series that we just witnessed, and now leading into this next one, it's 2 tier 2 teams that have to battle it out. But I mean, what a day it's been so far.
So far, man. So, ladies and gentlemen, before we end up heading into that break, let's take a little moment and acknowledge a good bit of instant karma from this last match, brought to you by Credit Karma. And Sully, run us through this one. It was Mata off of a Sova play.
Yeah, this is like the play that I just like freaked out at, because it's incredibly selfless from Mata. He knows that he's not going to win the fight. The communication comes in from his teammate. I'm on the flank. I can take these 2 players. All you need to do is stay alive. And what does he do? He's got the first kill on the player in the front of Yellow Box. He takes the dismiss, and here comes the swing from Vice to get those final 2 kills. An instrumental play, and in the grand scheme of things, might not have won Andbox that map, but it ultimately was a sick moment of instant karma.
Yeah, one of many, because we had multiple chances for Andbox to, like, just put away, like, one-off rounds. But the thing with Gen.G that has kind of gone through this set that you can kind of place a title on them, they're the Icemen. They know how to ice games. They know how to close it out. Although for Gen.G, it was way tougher throughout that second set to actually make their way through. I mean, still, winning 7 rounds in a row is pretty sweet. And that, folks, is the feeling of instant karma. Virtuoso versus Kansas City Pioneers, coming up in just a little bit for our last best of 3 for the Open Qualifiers.
Your purchase could be free when you use your Credit Karma Visa debit card. Free groceries, free gas, or even a free TV. It's called Instant Karma, and you can only win it from Credit Karma Money. Open your account for free in the Credit Karma app. Credit Karma Money. Progress starts here.